Hi, so let's today focus on Palo Alto NGAW Lab 1.3. What we learn in this lab? In this lab, we will configure our firewall between the Ether channel. So, in the previous lab, we learned about the VLAN tagging, but here the scenario is different. What's the scenario? We have a WAN switch one, we have a LAN switch. In between LAN switch and the WAN switch, we have implement the Palo Alto firewall is in the transparent mode. It means in a virtual wire mode. So there will be a no impact on the ether channel. On the both the switches, your ether channel will get up. That's not the problem. So how to configure the virtual wire in this scenario? So let's first understand the port mapping. Okay. So on the switches, we have connected two interfaces, right? WAN switch interface, right, connected to the Palo Alto firewall, Ethernet 1/1 and Ethernet 1/3, and LAN switch configured connected on Ethernet 1/2 and Ethernet 1/4. Then how do you form the Ether channel? In this case, we will form Ether channel vertical, right? What is my vertical, right? See, this is not mentioned in the Palo Alto design guide or admin guide, right? It's for my understanding, right? Vertical means we will configure the ether virtual wire, right, between Ethernet 1/1 and Ethernet 1/2, and another virtual wire pair between Ethernet 1/3 and Ethernet 1/4. So two virtual wire we have to configure. Why? Because in a one virtual wire mode, you should have two interface only. You cannot have the more than two. Okay. So then how does link state pass through work? I will tell you. Example, the interface of WAN switch 1 0/0 go down. What will happen? Or somebody unplug the cable. So, of course, firewall and Ethernet 1/1 interface will also go down, right? So, in this case, on WAN switch, in the Ether channel, we have only one port available. Why? Because Ethernet 0/0 is down, right? So in that case, these LAN should know the impact, right? So in impact means in term of what, right? Ether channel. As soon as these interface go down, because you have enabled the link state pass through, Ethernet 1/2 interface will also go down automatically. If my Ethernet 1/2 interface go down, ultimately my LAN switch interface gigabyte 0/0 will also go down. So what will happen in this case? This entire path is down. So I have only one path, right, in the ether channel, which is over the gigabyte 0/0, gigabyte 0/0. So first we'll configure the virtual wire, and then we will try to ping from A to B and B to A. Okay. Now how we have defined the direction, right? Direction, I cannot say direction, zone, right? So Ethernet 1/1 and Ethernet 1/2 is a part of untrust zone, and Ethernet 1/2 and Ethernet 1/4 part of trust zone, right? See, even though 1/1 and 1/2 part of same virtual wire, no problem. Your zone must be different so that you can filter the traffic. Source zone trust, to zone untrust, right? Because we have ether channel, right? Maybe your switch pass couple of session or frame via Ethernet 1/0 and couple of frame via Ethernet 1/1. So that is the reason both the interface connect to the WAN switch having in a untrust zone, and both interface connected to the LAN switch have it in the trust zone. So we will configure the security policy from zone trust to untrust before initiate the ping, right, or before initiate the testing. Okay. So hope it's clear, right? Concept and approach is clear. So now let's go and configure. So I will tell you guys, ether channel has already been configured on the switches. I will show you. Okay, go to the your switches, LAN switch 1. Okay, and on the LAN switch 1, look at the ether channel. Enable show ether channel summary. Yeah. So if you look at the ether channel summary for LAN on LAN switch 1, I can see gigabyte 0/0 and gigabyte 0/1. Both are in the ether channel. See, okay. This is the output of my LAN switch. What about a WAN switch? Okay, no problem. On the WAN switch, execute the command show ether channel EtherChannel summary. Okay. In see here also on the WAN switch also you can see the gigabyte 0/0 and gigabyte 0/1 is in the virtual wire. P means port in bundle. Perfect. Okay. Now we will go on the Palo Alto firewall and configure the virtual wire. First, go to the network. Right, once you go to the network, right, there is an option, right, interfaces, right. So ethernet 1/1, ethernet 1/2, 3 and 4 currently is in the tap mode. First we have to change interface type from tap to virtual wire. Okay, clear. Click on ethernet 1/1 interface. Okay, ethernet 1/1, change type to tap. Okay, oh my bad, not tap, my bad, virtual wire. Okay, virtual wire. Okay, don't configure zone and don't configure virtual wire right now. We'll configure later. Ethernet 1/2, right? Virtual wire mode. Okay, let's have only two first. Let's have only two first. Okay, then go and create a zone, right? Create a zone, and in this case, your zone type should also virtual wire. Okay, zone type first is a trust. Don't assign any membership right now. Okay, or if you want, you can assign type virtual wire. Trust means as per the diagram, Ethernet 1/2 and 4 part of trust. Okay. So add interface, you can see, right? Ethernet 1/2 part of trust zone. Okay. Let me zoom out. Okay. And let me zoom in. Okay. Then find create a zone untrust. Okay. Untrust. Okay. And change type to the virtual wire. Add interface Ethernet 1/1. Clear? Yeah. Then click OK. Okay, now next you can go and add your newly created interface in the virtual wire. Go to the virtual wire, add virtual wire, name vwire01. Okay, interface Ethernet 1/2, Ethernet 1/1/1 and Ethernet 1/2, and you have to check mark the option links set pass through. Okay, click OK. Prasad, why we are not able to see the 1/3 and 1/4? Because the 1/3 and 1/4 interface is a part of tap mode, not we have not yet configured as a virtual wire mode. Okay, click OK. Perfect. Now, if you go to the interface, right, on the interface, you can see your interface is a Ethernet 1/1 is a part of virtual wire 1 and security zone and trust. Okay, clear. Now, let's configure the virtual wire 2. Okay, so I will take another path to configure. I will click on the interface Ethernet 1/3, which is connected to the WAN. So what I will say, virtual wire mode, then virtual wire, no, none. But एक minute, Prasad, go to the Ethernet 1/1. I can see virtual wire 1 over here in the drop down list, right? None and virtual wire 1, right? But if I click on the Ethernet 1/3, and if I change the virtual wire mode and try to add this interface into virtual wire, you cannot see the option. Why? Because virtual wire 0/1 already having a 2 interface. Okay, that virtual wire already have a 2 interface, right? So it's full. So let's go and create a virtual wire here itself. There is an option you can create a virtual wire here itself. Click on the virtual wire, and just assign the name vwire02. Don't assign the interface. Let it be OK. Then zone. We already have a zone in place, right? So my Ethernet 1/3 is a part of trust zone. Okay. Then same treatment for Ethernet 1/4, but while adding a Ethernet 1/4 into the virtual wire, no need to create a new virtual wire because you already created, right? So interface virtual wire. Virtual wire select to zone trust. Okay, clear? Ethernet 1/4 part of trust, right? Okay. So look at the zone. Okay, here is my mistake, right? Ethernet 1/3, which is connected to the WAN switch, it should be a part of untrust zone. Careful, guys. So security zone, untrust, and click on the OK. Clear? So Ethernet 1/1, trust zone, untrust zone, Ethernet 1/3, untrust zone, Ethernet 1/2, trust zone, Ethernet 1/4, trust zone. Okay, clear? Now let's configure the universal security policy. Of course, right? Even though it's a virtual wire, still your traffic is intrazone, from zone trust to untrust, interzone, my bad, interzone. By default, interzone policy is blocked by the Palo Alto firewall. You would require the policy in order to allow the communication, okay, or traffic, I can say. Go to the policy, under policy, security policy, add security policy. Prasad, do you want me to add over here policy type, tap mode or virtual wire mode? No, guys, right? There is no option to configure security policy in a virtual wire mode or tap mode or layer 3 or layer 2. No, policy is a common for all the deployment type or interface type. Okay. Now the policy name is trust, trust to untrust. Okay. Trust, trust to untrust to trust means trust to untrust, untrust to trust, right? We will configure the universal policy type universal. In the source, I will configure add zone trust, untrust. Source address, let it be any right now because we want to see only logs. Destination also, you can see trust and untrust. Okay. Application, let it be any. Service port, yeah, any service port, right? I don't want to filter anything right now for the testing, right? And click on the okay. Action, in the action, login at session in must, you must enable it. Okay. Okay, now we have a security policy. Routing is required? No, routing is not at all required. Why? Because your firewall is in a virtual wire mode. Okay, commit the configuration. Commit, commit successful. Okay, so now let's go, guys, and initiate the traffic. Okay, before initial traffic, go to the monitor, traffic monitor. Right, I will show you the logs over here when I will initiate the traffic from my machine A or LAN PC1 to WAN PC1. Right, so let's initiate the traffic first. Okay, I think yes, I have done with every configuration. Go to the your mobile screen, LAN PC. What's my LAN PC IP address? 10.1.1.20, and my WAN PC IP address is 10.1.1.10. Oh, /24, both machines in the same subnetwork. Okay, so ping 10.1.1.10. Here you go, guys. I am able to ping. Yes, I am able to ping. Okay, so okay, what does it mean? It means your traffic has been passed through the Palo Alto firewall, and you already have a policy. Can you please show us the logs? Yes, I can. Go to the Palo Alto firewall. Just refresh the monitor logs. No, wait for some time. It will take time. Yeah, it's a virtual environment. That is, it will take time, guys. Here you go, guys. I can see the security policy. Okay, let me adjust the column. Okay, hope you are able to see all the logs, right? 150%. Okay, now you can see it, right? So let me elaborate the logs. Okay, here the traffic received on trust zone and ingress interface Ethernet 1/1. Why? Because Ethernet 1/1 is Ethernet 1/2 is connected to the LAN switch. Then traffic go out via Ethernet 1/1 because it is in the virtual wire, right? When firewall receive any traffic on Ethernet 1/2, by default it will pass on a 1/1 only. Okay, and destination zone untrust. Okay, source IP 10.1.1.20 and destination IP 10.1.1.10 and application ping. Okay, should I go and ping from WAN to LAN. Will I see the completely revert logs from zone untrust to trust? Yes, you will. Okay, let's go and initiate a ping from my WAN machine to LAN. Ping 10.1.1.20. Now you will see the different direction in the logs, basically. Untrust to trust. Wait for a minute. Okay. So basically, guys, in my Ethernet, in my virtual Ether channel, right, gigabyte 0/0 on the switches taking are this interface is preferable. Okay, because I am getting logs on Ethernet 1/2 and out from Ethernet 1/1. It means Ether channel use this interface to pass the traffic. Clear? Okay. So now go to the traffic logs and just refresh your screen. Yes, here you go, guys. Right now, the direction is now untrust to trust. Ingress interface Ethernet 1/1. By default, it will egress over Ethernet 1/2. Currently, Ethernet 1/3 and 4 not in the picture. What we will do now to test the link state pass through, right? Let's shut down the Palo Alto, your WAN switch gigabyte 0/0 switch. So I will ask Swanan, can you please shut down the link? Okay. So now he has shut down the interface, switch interface gigabyte 0/0. Refresh the screen. No, not yet. Yes. Now, guys, you can see carefully. He has shut down the Ethernet 1/1 interface, right? However, because of link state pass through, my Ethernet 1/2 automatically down. Do you want to see it? Go to the Palo Alto firewall and just execute the command show interface all. Here you go, guys. On the Palo Alto firewall, internet on CLI, Ethernet 1/1 showing right down protocol, right? Okay, during the auto negotiation process, right? However, the impact directly impact on Ethernet 1/2 power down, right? He has shut down the Ethernet 1/1 interface, right? Means on the switch gigabyte 0/0 interface he has shut down, right? Ultimately, the impact is Ethernet 1/1 down, Ethernet 1/2 down, and the switch port LAN switch gigabyte 0/0 will also down. Is also down, not will. Let's go and validate the status on the WAN switch and the LAN switch. Perfect. Come on, move fast, guys. Okay. So now go to the MOBA and here go to the LAN switch. Here you can see the right. You can see the logs, right? I can see the logs here. Enable. Okay. So IP interface brief. See the impact. My gigabyte 0/0 down on the LAN end. He has shut down the WAN WAN switch end gigabyte 0/0 down. Ultimately impact on firewall Ethernet 1/1 down because of link state pass through. It will pass the status on Ethernet 1/2, and as soon as Ethernet 1/2 power off, automatically on the LAN switch my gigabyte 0/0 also power off. So ultimately, right on the LAN switch, right, you can see the down status. Shall I go and ping? Yes, go ahead. Okay, so let's go and ping the traffic, initiate the traffic from PC1. So now it should take the another Ether channel path via gigabyte 0/1, right? And Palo Alto firewall receive traffic on Ethernet 1/3, 4, and will pass through the Ethernet 1/3. Okay, enter. Yes, I am able to ping. Do you want to see the logs? Of course, yes. Go to the logs, Palo Alto firewall, and see the logs. Monitor, under monitor, you can see the logs. Wait, it will take time, right? Okay. Yeah. See, guys. You have initiated the traffic from LAN switch, LAN PC to WAN PC. Here you go. From zone, trust. Zone will remain the same. Why? Because Ethernet 1/2 and Ethernet 1/4, the interface connected to the LAN switch is a part of trust zone. And Ethernet 1/1 and 3 is a part of untrust zone. But now, because of the link state pass through, Your entire ether channel interface gigabyte 0/0 on the both the interface down. Okay, so now you have only one path. Clear? So let me see it in the logs. My bad. Yeah, here you can see, right? Ethernet 1/4 is ingress, Ethernet 1/2 is a egress. So destination zone untrust, source zone trust. So guys, this is how your Palo Alto virtual wire work in the ether channel environment. Okay, so you can inspect the traffic, by the way, that's not a problem. Okay guys, there are a couple of commands which is most important, I can say. Right, there are the command show interface all, I just showed you. Right, as soon as your interface go down, right, the peer interface, right, part of same virtual wire will also go down and it will show power down. Another command show oh my bad. Okay, the command is show log system direction equal backward event id equal to lane change. Okay, it's a big command, that's the reason I just copy and I would like to paste it over here. Okay, on the Palo Alto firewall, copy and paste, enter. Guys, here you go, right? You can clearly, here you can see the right interface. First, your interface 1/1 down, and the result, right, it shut down the Ethernet 1/2 as well. Okay, if you want to go in detail, so you have to, there are two more commands which you can run. Less mp logs, right, brd means board agent logs. So there you can see clear cut message received from the board on the interface, power down. Okay, so let me see, paste, enter. Okay, it's oh my god, so it should be in the bottom. Right, it's a 1%, 2%. It generates lots of log, guys, right? It is showing the boot log as well. Okay, so it should be down 7%, 6%. My bad. I should, right, delete the logs file, right, and then maybe I will get a new logs. But anyway, guys, here you will come, you will see the clear logs where it will show you that the interface Ethernet 1/2 receive the board message to shut down the interface. Okay, because it's a interface level logs, here q, perfect. There's a one more command, right, mp relay logs, right? So just go and see the logs, what we can see. I wish I could, but let's see. 1%, lots of log here your follow to firewall is generating. Basically, let me see the right logs for you guys. Ethernet port id, you will see the port id over here. See, interface Ethernet 1/2 link down. No, this is not the interfaces which I would like to see. Okay, let's do one thing. It's a 30%, 35%. Ethernet 1/2 up, down. Yes. See, guys. Here you go. Here you go. I can see the logs. Via vwire interface Ethernet 1/2 link down. What's the reason? Interface 1/3 down. Link pass through is true. Right, that is the reason. Immediately what happened, it does power of the peer port. Clear? So the command is your less mp log, mp upon logs, mp relay dot logs. So board level, motherboard level or interface level logs, you can see it over here. Okay, so in short, let's have a quick summary. What we have done over here, we have configured the EtherChannel on the WAN interface, LAN interface, right? We install or we implement the Palo Alto firewall in between the EtherChannel, right? And we had we have now two EtherChannel, right? One between the Ethernet 1/1 and 1/2. Another interface, another virtual wire between the Ethernet 1/3 and Ethernet 1/4, right? And we have configured the security policy from zone untrust to trust, trust to untrust, right? For the bi-directional. Okay, clear? If you really like this video, please subscribe. Thank you so much. Bye bye. Happy learning.